Hi everyone, Angela here. Happy spring! So excited that I finally get to say that and that we've had some glorious weather, so I hope you've all been enjoying this. So spring is the perfect time, we cleaned out our closets and we did that. It's the perfect time for that. And part of cleaning out our closets is forgiveness. And the past 2 weeks has been about forgiveness in here. Let it go, choose to grow. That's been the message. And it's been 2 weeks with this message because it's something that sometimes takes a long time to do. Forgiveness is a really difficult thing sometimes for people because you've held on to anger, hurt, resentment for so long. In some cases, maybe it was a kid that picked on you in 4th grade and you're holding on to it 30 years later. Sometimes it really is that long. But whatever the case may be, the first part of forgiveness I'm talking about is forgiving somebody else. And the beautiful thing about forgiving someone is that they never have to know. This is not about them. It's about you and your growth process and you being able to move past this. So you never have to tell somebody that you forgive them, which is so nice. You never have to interact with them again. And the other beautiful thing about forgiveness is that it's not saying that what they did was right. That's not it at all. It's not saying like, yeah, okay, this person did it and they were right and it's okay. No, maybe what they said really was horrible. But we're acknowledging it. We acknowledge that it hurt at the time. We acknowledge that it happened. And then choose to let it go. You grew from the experience, whether you realize it or not. You're wiser. You're brighter than you were before. So choose to make it something positive. Okay, I learned something, I grew from this. Even if what you learned was, okay, that person's a real jerk. You still learned something. So let's keep it positive on that note. And that's okay if they're a jerk because that's their truth and that's their reality. And I'm fine with people being jerks because if that's their authentic self, then that's fine. And I'll continue to be my authentic self. That's how I take it. So you can choose to acknowledge that it happened and then release it and move on and forgive that. And I always like to, when I forgive something, I then take a few deep breaths and I send some love to that person or to that situation. I send some love there because you know what? Maybe that's what they need. I'm healing from it and I choose to spread that energetically. So the other part of forgiveness is one that I was actually talking about with somebody last week. And they said to me, well, I don't really think I have anybody to forgive. I don't think I have any anger or resentment. I don't think I have anything like that. And then I said, yeah, but do you need to forgive yourself? And what I mean by that is sometimes we have regrets. It's that whole coulda, woulda, shoulda syndrome that we have, where should we have done this? We should have stayed in that longer. We should have ended this sooner. We should have said this. We shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have done this. That's what you have to make peace with. It happened, and that's okay. Acknowledge it, and then release it. Let it go. Forgive yourself. You did the best that you could with what you had at the time. And now time has passed, you're older, you're wiser, you've grown from it, you're better. Let it go. So when I talk about forgiveness, I often give people the example of balloons. And when you first get a balloon, it's filled with a lot of helium and it's really bright and shiny. And you're holding it so tight in your hands, you're holding them. But then after time passes, the helium leaves them, they deflate. Then they're not so shiny anymore. They're deflated and you're still holding on to them. But somebody comes up to you with some bright, shiny new helium balloons that look amazing. You'll never be able to take those until you let go of the ones that are already in your hand. Let them go and grab onto something better. Make room for something better in your life because that negative emotion, the hurt, the sadness, the anger, the depression, all of those negative feelings, they take up space and room in here. And honestly, that space and room that could be given to joy and happiness and love and friendship and all these other amazing positive things. Why let that old sludgy stuff hold you back? hold you from being your best you, your brightest version of you. I think that this message is really appropriate with everybody right now, and with everything that's going on with politics and terrorism in the world, and there's so many negative things out there in the world. But today, in this moment, in this time, and you know I'm a big fan of living in the now, because it's all about this moment, you can make a choice, a conscious choice, to say, I acknowledge what happens. I acknowledge what happened. And I choose to move past it and continue to spread my light and love to others, regardless of it. Because you can't let other people's actions and hurt feelings and things that they've said or done, you can't let that hold you from being your best you. So that's really what this week was about. It was about growth through forgiveness. And you never have to tell the person you forgave them, because it's not about that. It's about you. You releasing. So join me in the present moment. Join me in the now. Really sit down. When you have a chance and you have 5 minutes to yourself, that's all you need, 5 minutes. Really sit down and give yourself a chance to think back. Think about things that were said or done that have hurt you, or things that you might have said or done that hurt others. And like I said, you never have to say anything to the person. It's a matter of inside flipping a switch, saying, I acknowledge it and I choose to release it. I am okay. It's acknowledging that, you know what, you're okay, and it's okay, and you're a survivor, and you're strong, and you're amazing. So join me in this moment now, and release, and forgive, and send some love to yourself, because you deserve it. So, if you'd like to know more about me and what I do, feel free to check me out on the website holisticwellnessnj.com. You can like this video on Facebook, which you know I always appreciate, because I do this for you guys as much as for me, so always appreciate it. Or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Angela Roberts LMT. As always, every day in every way, I wish you guys every blessing the universe has to offer upon you. I wish you guys so much happiness, and be open to the light and the love and the healing, because you know I'm sending it to you. Be open to it. Until next time, guys, sending you lots of love.